I love this so much.
If you're looking to build, it's a different muscle than potentially selling. Well, it definitely is than selling. And that really is just one-on-one time, making sure you're there for them, actually mentoring people. And when you do that, I mean, you're going to see explosive growth.
Thank you for joining us on our Family First Life Tri-State Serve the People podcast. We appreciate you tuning in, spending your time to develop and grow with us. Follow us, please, on all our social media platforms at Family First Life Tri-State or FFL Tri-State. We love you. Keep listening, and I hope this information is serving you across the country. All right, everybody. Thank you for jumping on with us for our Training Day podcast. We are literally going to train you today. I have a very special guest, future Hall of Famer, Vice President of Family First Life, Citadel.
You got it.
I'm on it. Family First Life Citadel, future Hall of Fame producer, crushes it every single month. One of the best trainers you'll ever hear. Joanne Basso is with me today. How are you, sister?
I am great, Mark. Thank you for having me on.
I'm excited to be on with you. It's been probably 3-4 months, and anybody who kills it like you, we get on multiple times a year. But a lot has happened in 3-4 months.
So much has happened.
Congratulations on your nuptials. You are now a married woman. Congratulations.
Yes.
One of the most beautiful weddings I ever had to witness. So thank you for that. But congratulations on your steps in life and some of the things you're doing. I'm going to let you talk because I don't want to do the talking for you. So talk to us about how it's been through the half-year point.
It's been excellent. So kicking off the new year, convention was great. Myself, our team had so much momentum going into February, March, April. As you said, I have a lot of personal things that, were going on. I got married, moved into a new home.
Wow.
And this was the first time in my FFL career where I really had to figure out the balance of understanding consistency in the business. Because you can talk about it when you're just grinding every week, but when you got to figure out how to balance personal commitments with business, it gets fun. So yeah, it's been an awesome last 6 months. Busy. It's been very busy. But the team, we're growing, we're grinding. We are seeing a ton of momentum, and that's for me like I'm working with so many new people that, just had last month their first month of helping 40 families, 45 families. So to see that and just to see how it's changing their life, it's very exciting.
Yeah,
very exciting and contagious. So
I remember having you on in the beginning of the year, and you were talking about your desire to build a business, and kind of take it to the next level. That next level is now happening. Right?
Yeah.
Seeing, as you said, when it's busy. You're talking to a lot more people. You're answering your phone a lot more. There's a lot more questions coming at you. You're still in the field helping families. Like, there are people right now that want to do this at the level you're doing it at, Joanne, and there's people right now that are doing it at the level you're doing it at. Walk us through some of the things you're doing schedule-wise to actively sell and actively build.
Yeah. So when you get to the point where you have decided, okay, I want to be a top producer, the main thing is the basics are always going to remain the basics. So you can't forget that on your way to trying to do something else. So for me, I have to be very structured. So today is Thursday, right? Yeah, today is Thursday. So I'm like, is it Monday or Thursday?
I'm having that kind of Thursday too.
I just know it's dial day.
Right. Sure.
So I'm in my office. I'm dialing. I'm not. I have time set up that from 7:30 to normally around 1 p.m. That is for me. I am dialing on my dial days. And then because I need to make sure I get my appointment counts in. So for me, I always am like, all right, I want to help as many people as I can. But in order for me to have the resources to do that, I can't put personal production on the shelf. So that always has to be priority one.
I love that.
And that's the biggest thing. I think when you start losing sight of that, yes, you want to help. You want to help other people, but you're not going to do that by not leading by example.
Okay. Wait. Wait.
Okay, sorry again.
No, because it's a lot of people that not only want to run the opposite way of what you just said, they're doing it. They were getting in the building, start slowing down their field momentum, which is like, what?
Yeah,
And then you're
I can't
saying,
imagine.
right? And I need you to unpack this a little bit. You're saying you got to keep the main thing, no matter what.
Right.
And you're saying it with all the emphasis, all the punch, all the passion in the world, meaning like there's no way I would ever not do that. Can you please help some people understand why this is your mindset?
I mean, ultimately, one, I still have a passion. My passion has not changed to come in and help as many families on a personal level as I can. Mm-hmm. I still get excited. Like tomorrow, like for me, I'm in South Jersey and I still go in the field. I love getting in the car and driving out and meeting people. So like, for instance, tomorrow is my Delaware day and I look forward. I normally book anywhere from 8 to 12 appointments on a Friday. That's my Delaware day every Friday. And for me, it's like, I know that feeling of going in, helping the everyday person. And I don't want that to change. But so that's just the one thing on the personal level. Yeah. The second thing is that we are building a business and there is overhead and I am growing and we have staff and recruitment and everything else. And at the end of the day, that's not going to change. You need to want a way to be able to afford that. So that's also personal production. And then the third thing, which is the most important, is you need to be an example to your agents. Why am I going to call someone and do a new agent call, like a reach out and just say, hey, it's really awesome. Just buy some leads, get in the field. And then they see that I'm not even on the leaderboard. I'm not helping anybody. Like that's really not speaking to the system we have in place. So for me, I mean, it's so many levels, but I'm able to connect with agents because they see my passion and they see me on the live dials and they see me posting when I help a family. And that really speaks volumes to what this business can do.
Mm-hmm. Man, you said it as good as I can hear it. But as you were saying it, I was just thinking about 320 Life and how nobody seems to get it confused. Like, and that's why the whole company is growing as fast as it's growing, because people, they keep the main thing, but they don't use recruiting as an excuse to not sell. They don't use selling as an excuse to not recruit and build. And I see that happen so often, and it makes no sense in the world to me, and it makes no sense in the world to you. Like, you couldn't convince us. You got the wrong podcast if you're trying to convince us that selling and building at the same time, funding the business with your personal sales, isn't the way to do this. Yes? Would that be a fair statement? So continue to walk us down, because I cut you off. I had to get that moment. But continue to walk us down the things you're doing to continue to grow it.
Yeah. So from there, I'm very structured with my personal production, as I said. From there, the rest of it, I always look at, we call it like money making activities here. One, I have it very scheduled out when for recruitment every day. I have on my schedule, 15-minute segments of my reach out calls to agents. I am very active when it comes to communication, reaching out to agents, making sure we're doing lead strategy calls, making sure that I personally host an in-home training call, which goes over, for me, A to Z of what I do in the home, and any new agent that we have coming in. I work one-on-one with them. So my week is pretty busy. But the whole thing is really recreating and connecting with each new person that walks in the door as if they are my best friend, and making sure they're getting the same treatment as, someone who's, a warm market that we know, and making sure that, they have absolutely no confusion of what the recipe is for success here. And that really is just one-on-one time, making sure you're there for them, actually mentoring people. And when you do that, I mean, you're going to see explosive growth.
Love it. Was there ever a time while you were building this where you didn't do that? You didn't spend the quality time and go through things with them, or, unpack different, scenarios with them?
100%.
Okay. What is the difference for you
100%.
from when you were doing that to now and doing it this way?
I think there was that moment, that light bulb moment where I'm like, why, why are we not seeing, maybe, people who aren't as familiar with the business, why aren't they coming in, and why am I not, like, what am I doing wrong if I'm not seeing them stick or something along those lines? And it was self-reflection. I'm like, wait a minute, like, when I came into it, I knew my brother and I knew Gabe, and I had a ton of conversations with them, and I knew it was the real deal. And I saw all of this and I was plugged in right away. And I'm like, and that was because I had trust in these people. Right. But for someone who doesn't know me at all, and they just kind of see, hey, you could potentially make a lot of money in this business, but they're not getting that one-on-one help. And there's this mindset. Yes, we are independent, but if we're not getting that support, we can feel like we're an island unto ourselves. And I feel like for me, it was just that light bulb moment right around spring of this year where I'm like, I got to treat each person like they even though they don't need to listen to me, but as if they know nothing, and give them more help than they maybe need, just to let them know that I'm there for them. And if they have any questions, I'm going to be there to help them. No question is silly. It's a new industry. They know nothing about it. And just having that rapport with agents, we're just seeing them, really come out and have really good weeks right from the beginning. They're not struggling because it's almost as if it's a warm market, like, someone we've worked with for years.
I love this so much. This is becoming a clinic on how to build a business. And now I want you to be very transparent. How much work are you putting in right now?
It's a lot. It's a lot.
I love the fact that you had to laugh, right? How many hours a week right now? Because your business is exploding. Your personal production is on tilt. How many hours a week would you say? I
mean, if you're counting dialing, driving, everything else, 70.
Yep.
Probably around there. I mean, yeah.
How much is your business going? How many families is your business going to help in July?
350 families.
How many families was your business helping in March?
Sometimes 80, sometimes 100. It was
okay.
Yeah.
So we're talking about 350% growth.
Yeah. Right.
Let's
literally.
Okay, so for everyone that's like, we're talking about 350% growth from the light bulb moment of I need to work more with my people if I want to see them grow.
Yeah.
350%. And that was 3 months ago.
Yep.
Like, Joanne, do you understand you're going to be helping 1,000 families a month by the end of the year?
It's exciting.
Do you remember that was your goal when we spoke at the beginning of the year?
It was. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now, this is why goal setting is important, right? Because if you don't make that goal, then you probably don't make that adjustment, right? If you go, I'll build a business, then you don't internally reflect as hard in March and say, wait a minute, why would I? The same question you just said to us. Why? Why am I not getting in there more? Why would they listen? Why should they listen? And just you asked yourself that question. You made an adjustment. The adjustment has created significant growth in a very small period of time. And it's created tremendous habits. So now, say 70 hours a week. The good news is you're able to work 70 hours a week. The better news is you're not going to work 70 hours a week for the rest of your life. So people have to come to grips with, Joanne, the truth about building a business. So what are some of since making these adjustments, right, and since putting some of this into play, right, now you have systems in play. You have systems that you track. You have adjustments that you make to grow the business further. Talk to us about some of that stuff and how it's not only building the mind, but it's building the business.
Right. So as you said, when we back in, March, around like February, March, really, as I said, the momentum coming back from convention, me and my dad were partners. And we said, all right, we're doing this thing. And I know before you say, okay, we're all in, like we said we were all in, but like, were we fully all in on everything? And that's where we came to that decision. Okay, we're all in, which means full staff. We're going to have systems in place that we're going to make sure that if we drop the ball, there is something in place saying, hey, have you contacted this person? Like, we've become very organized, and we have a way in which, to track, to make sure that, one, we are consistently growing. One, we have new agents coming in. We're getting new agents to come in, and we're making sure that we have mentor trainings available. And honestly, at first it seems like, oh man, it's going to be this super hard experience doing all of that, but it's a little hard making it, that transition. You got to get used to, but now, I mean, it has simplified our day-to-day so much. And now I'm like, oh my goodness, how did we do it when we were still unorganized? What were we doing?
That's amazing.
What were we doing? I don't understand how we saw any success.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh my gosh, I love it. That's what I'm sorry, I can't. But that's what the business journey is all about. It's about these stupid aha moments that take over, and allow you to believe more. Like, you believe more today than you did in February, yes?
Oh, 100%.
Why is that?
So in February, I knew this was the real deal because I saw it for my personal self, and I saw how many families I helped in my bank account. But since February, I have been able to see, as I was telling you right before the call, 7 actual friends and new agents last month helped their first 40 families in 1 month. And, for me, that's what it's all about. So yeah, I can see it for myself, and I knew it was real since last May. Correct. For 13, 14 months, I knew it was real. But now it's like, okay, next month we want to double that. We want to see 14 agents help their first, 40 families. So that's what it's all about now, and we're seeing it.
Yeah, and it's funny how I'll tell you, as long as you keep doing this with others, for others, your belief level will keep increasing. Yeah, of course it was the real deal. Right. You were killing it in 2021, came into this year, killing it, big goals. Of course it was real. But your belief level's higher today than it was yesterday, last week, 6 months ago, because you're seeing people's lives change. And not only are you seeing people's lives change, you're going to be a part of seeing them help other people change their lives. So it's going to be generational.
100%.
And it's going to be a business that's going to have multiple roots in it because of the things that you're doing now and because of the things that your father's doing now. You guys are going to continue to increase your belief level. And I don't know. This makes me smile so much because you're one of the most awesome people, but seeing this happen is amazing for anybody. And you guys are just doing great things.
Thank you.
There's a lot of new agents listening. There's a lot of people that are ready to write a check to maybe get their first recruiter, get their first admin, get their first office, and they're trying to sell and build What would you say to those people?
One, as I've mentioned before, but I honestly believe it wholeheartedly. Always keep the basics the basics. You never get to the point where you're good enough to not follow the centric, the structure of what this business is. So always keep personal production where you need to. That's never something you can sacrifice in this business. And two, give yourself the learning curve that you gave yourself when you were a new agent coming in. If you're looking to build, it's a different muscle than potentially selling. Well, it definitely is than selling. And I remember Brian Mendenhall, the first conference I ever was at, he was talking and he was saying that, I think it was with you. And he was saying that, he went through 4 or 5 recruiters and he kept on firing them. And you're like, hey, you've got to stick with it. You got to stick with it because you're not going to see the results right away.
Right.
And the main thing for that is, you just gotta believe, you gotta invest in yourself. If you want to be a business owner, you want to actually build this, you gotta take a risk. You gotta be willing to work hard. You cannot do this being lazy. This is the most transparent business you can be in. If you are lazy, your results are gonna show. And just keep the basics the basics. Talk to a lot of agents, still buy your own leads, book a lot of appointments, help your own families, and then just be on the phone constantly with your agents. Do reach out calls, do lead strategies, role plays for their in-home, role plays for the phone. You do that enough consistently, it will light a fire. And now your agents that were cold are going to get to their warm market. And it just is constant growth.
I wish I was playing you a podcast from a year ago. You have grown so much. To see the passion translate from the field to you building and working with people is something to see. But I'm so glad it's happening because good people like you should be working with people. You should be talking to them. You should be helping them understand life situations, business situations, and how to grow. Because you're such good people that you can only help them. You would never harm them. You can only help grow and nourish, and which why your business is exploding. And as long as you keep doing this, it's over. It is over. So it does bring a great smile to my face to see you have transitioned from me to we, even though it was that seed was kind of always there. To see it now sprouting and growing and taking on a life of its own and having colorization in the leaves is amazing. So thank you for hopping on with me for our Training Day podcast. You are one of my favorite guests, and I appreciate you pouring into the agents.
Thank you for having me on. Thank you for your leadership. I'm so blessed to be working with you under Tri-State. I love this team. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Well, we appreciate you more than you know. FFL Citadel on the come, blowing up right in front of you. And Joanne, before we leave, what are you going to finish the year with? We're at the half mark. How many families are you going to help this year? Because we're writing this in stone.
I am going to help 600 families this year.
Let's go! All right, Joanne Basso, the winner. Appreciate you so much for sharing with us. Everybody keep listening, keep hammering. Let's keep smashing records. God bless.